Hi, I'm Mark Hummel. I hope you're enjoying the Harmonica Party and the other content that we post on our channel. Check out our Patreon page and join us for exclusive content, early releases of episodes, and some rewards specifically for our Patreon friends. Thanks for helping us keep the blues alive. So we are here with the great Joe Beard. And Joe, you're from, was it Holly Springs or Ashland, Mississippi? Yeah, and you were born in 1938?
1938, February the 4th.
February the 4th?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you lived in Mississippi from the time you were born. Did you guys move to Holly Springs? Is that what happened?
No. My parents was from Holly Springs. We left Mississippi. We left Ashland when I was, must have been
11, you left Ashland?
Right.
Okay, and then you moved to Holly Springs from there?
No, we moved to Memphis.
You moved to Memphis. Right.
Yeah.
That seemed like that happened a lot. A lot of people moved from Mississippi to Memphis. So.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like that was kind of not an unusual thing at all. Yeah. And so would you say you grew up in, did you grow up in Memphis as a teen? As a teenager, I mean?
I spent time both places, in Memphis and Mississippi, because my older sister and brothers lived in Mississippi.
Right.
And I spent a lot of time.
Uh-huh.
You know, I never did work the farm and everything.
Right. You never did that.
No.
Yeah. Now, how'd you get away with that?
But you know, I was, from the time I was like 6, 7 years old, my mother died. There was always something. You know, my legs would be swollen. I had broken my heart and all that shit.
Right. So you had a lot of health
Yeah.
things as a kid.
Yeah.
Now you got brothers?
Yeah.
How many brothers you have?
6.
6 brothers.
Yeah,
That's right,
6
because you guys had your construction company in
Yeah.
Rochester.
Yeah. So 6 brothers and 4 sisters.
Wow, that is a big family.
Yeah.
Now, what did your father do?
Sharecropper. Always.
Sharecropper. Really?
Always sharecropper.
So did your brothers all sharecrop? Did they all work?
Yes, they did until they all grew up.
Yeah.
They all did.
So you kind of lucked out, huh?
Yes.
Sometimes it pays to have health problems.
Yeah. And no problem knew.
Yeah.
That was more.
But your brothers had to do all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we moved away, my older sister, one of my older sisters moved to Memphis, you know. And I was between Mississippi. But most of my young years spent in Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my young days.
Yeah. Okay. So now you knew Matt Murphy and Floyd Murphy, the Murphy brothers, and that was in Ashland?
Yeah.
It was? Okay. And when did you meet them? How old were you?
Oh, I must have been 8, 9 years old. Well,
8, 9 years old.
I must have met them.
Wow. Let me shut this door. Too many motorcycles out there. So when you met them, how'd you guys become friends?
Matt's oldest brother, Dan, married my cousin. Her brother married Matt's sister.
Ah. So you guys were kind of related.
Yeah,
you became related by marriage. Yeah.
Yes. And Matt in the 50s, early 50s, he had planned, he was engaged to marry my sister.
Wow.
He went to Spain with Memphis Slim, I guess, and he stayed for years.
Right.
A long time.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were no longer.
No.
At that point, they were no longer.
No. She got married one of these times. But Floyd even lived with us for sure.
I remember you told me that. Now, was that in Memphis or Nashville?
Yeah, in
Memphis.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, was he already a musician at that point?
Memphis always played guitar. There was 4 boys.
Yeah.
They all played guitar.
They all did.
And Dan, even Dan, the older boy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, Dan. But Dan was a guy, this wouldn't work.
You wouldn't work.
No. Matt's oldest brother, he did everything to get out of work, you know. In the city, they had what they call the sherbet farm. If they catch you on the street, they take you to jail.
Uh-huh.
And they send you for a week or 2 weeks. But Dan stayed in there. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But then he went out to Mississippi. He married my cousin.
Okay.
He had one son. I don't know what happened to him. But he did have one son with him. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
But like I say, we all got separated.
Yeah. Huh. Wow. So, so you knew all those guys, it sounds like, pretty well.
Yeah. It was like family.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did those guys show you some guitar at all?
No. You know, but I didn't even touch the guitar. I wasn't even.
I think you had told me that. Yeah, you were into blues, but you really hadn't
I never
picked it up.
I remember when I was like 8, somewhere around the 9. You know, the other days would have house parties.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Beauregard.
Right. You were saying you used to lead him around.
Lead him around, you know. And then there was a gentleman named Westfeld. He was a guitar player. Arnold Scruggs. All these guitar players was around me from day one, you know.
Really?
Great
So you were
guitar player.
surrounded with great guitars.
And I wouldn't touch it.
Huh?
I didn't touch
Were you kind of intimidated by it? Like you didn't want to be compared to these great guys or something? Or
You know, I don't know what it was, but I wish now that I had.
Yeah, no kidding.
I had picked up the guitar,
Right.
you know, yeah.
Right.
Because by the time that I really got interested in guitar, these guys was gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. You
Yeah.
know? So, and how much I could have learned from guys like B.B. King, that much and all that.
Right. So how old was Matt when he learned? He must have been really young.
Oh, Matt could off ever since I can remember. Matt could play guitar.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I think he made a record in Memphis with Bobby Bland and Junior Parker when he was like 16 or something.
Must have.
And it's great.
Since day one I met, I learned him playing guitar.
Yeah. Now, you also knew Jimmy Johnson and Syl, right?
Right, but not,
Syl Johnson.
you know, I didn't really know them in Mississippi.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't really know them when they were in Mississippi. This came later. Later in this. When I first met them, it was like, must have been, I knew about them through Matt Murphy. What was the guy name?
Matt Cardle? I mean, Matt Thompson?
No, he lived in Hollis Springs.
Huh.
He got some nephews that's playing right, grandkids playing right now.
Oh, R.L.
R.L.
Burnside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The R.L. used to come to our house. So he was one of those guitar guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was really around a long time, huh?
Yes, R.L.
R.L.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the guys who would be playing guitar around.
Right.
But But yeah, I never knew Matt to do this. To play, to be like one of the kids, like people get together in the living room, dine and stuff. I never saw Matt do that.
Do what again?
You know, like people sitting around in the living room playing guitar.
Right. He didn't do that?
I never saw Matt do that.
Huh.
All the RL, all those people, I remember them doing
So
that.
you're saying, why do you think he didn't do it? He just kind of, that was beneath him kind of almost? Or just
I really think that wasn't his style.
Yeah, he was more of a serious,
There wasn't that style to it.
real serious
He
musician.
always says about everything, man.
Yeah.
Especially money.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard about the kind of money he expected to get. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
It was a great family, it really was, you know.
The family?
Yes,
Yeah.
Lord.
So you knew his parents and
I
all that.
knew his father. I knew his mother.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
knew his father.
Yeah. Now, what did his father do? Do you remember? Was he a sharecropper or not, or something
No,
else?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know what his father.
So were you guys all around the same age? You and Matt and Floyd?
No, Matt was more like my older brother.
Okay.
Floyd and I were the same age.
Okay.
Floyd and I
All
were the same age.
Yeah.
And Melvin.
Scoot over just a little bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Melvin, and he was another one that didn't get involved with sitting around doing things. He's more of a family guy.
Uh-huh.
Melvin was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they all had wives, you know.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. I mean, back in those days, I mean, what was your take on what blues musicians were they generally like, you know, kind of wild, hard drinkers and all that, or not really?
Hard drinkers, yeah.
They were hard drinkers. They were all hard drinkers.
Yeah. My father was a big drinker too.
Was he?
Oh yes, he was.
Okay.
He loved his liquor.
Yeah.
It was very lightning.
So you never had a problem with it, or?
No.
Yeah. Huh.
No.
You're kind of the rarity, huh?
I guess.
Was Floyd a pretty big drinker?
No.
Really?
I never knew Florida Matty wanted to do any drinking.
Really? Interesting.
No.
Yeah.
Either one of them.
Yeah. Well, they were both just really serious musicians.
Yes, they were.
Yeah. Now, didn't Floyd like have a day job for a while or
Oh,
something?
yes. Yes, he did. His wife. His sister died, which was my cousin's wife. We all went to the funeral. And I heard that those, when Floyd was on the guitar, he couldn't keep his hands off of it. And they loved guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, they got love guitar.
Wow.
And I heard that he went back to Illinois. His wife told him either it's the guitar,
Wow. Yeah.
He's-
That happens a lot, doesn't it?
and he
Yeah.
got a double one in steel mills in Robinson, Illinois, I think.
Mhm.
6 months later, she left him and he came on
Gee,
board.
yeah, there's a lesson for life.
She's gone.
Yeah, there's a lesson for life.
She's gone.
Yeah. Right. Don't give up your career until you're sure she's going to stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now, didn't you say you used to date Dee Dee's sister or something?
No, B.B. King dated my sister.
Oh, Dee Dee dated your sister.
Sarah.
Okay.
I was like 12.
All right.
I was like 12, 13 years old, I guess. He used to,
Just scoot over just a hair.
Yeah.
All right.
he used to pick us up on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Because he played Roseville Lake on Sunday morning. He pick us up and take us downtown, and the restaurant. That's why I broke one of my only teeth I had broke. I broke it was eating ribs with him on Bill Street.
That's no good. I hope you stopped eating there.
But
Yeah.
he loved my father. Him and my father got along like 5
So he was
years.
older than you. BB was,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
about what, 10 years older or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you guys pretty good friends?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
But once he got away, I didn't see him anymore.
Didn't you see him occasionally in Rochester?
Oh yeah, I see him every time.
Oh, you saw him every time he played?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Every time he came to Rochester, I was
Yeah.
at the opening show.
Right. Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
So you opened for him every time.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone I can remember. I said,
Yeah. Now, how old were you when you left Memphis?
18.
18? And did you go straight to Rochester, or did you
No.
go? Where'd you go?
Went to Canton, Ohio.
Canton, Ohio. Was that a job?
Yeah, we was in the business of doing these houses. At that time, my older brothers were. And they was working for a company. And the company was located in Canton, Ohio, the headquarters.
Uh-huh.
We was only there like 6 months.
Huh. And is that when you guys first started working together in business?
In 1956.
Okay.
1956. 6.
And that was when you kind of started the business with them.
It was when the 5 of us was working together. We went to Dallas, Texas for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then from Dallas, Texas to Rochester.
Okay.
That's when the business started. Beard
And so it was called Beard Construction. Okay. And like each of you kind of had an individual job, right? Was that the deal?
Yes. Well,
like you were the electrician?
I was the electrician. And but when I started, my brother Warren was the plumber.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started doing his brother Ishmael. He was a carpenter, which we always did carpentry. All of us did certain things. But his main thing was the carpenter, Walter. He did all the painting and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to do brick spacing.
Brick spacing?
Brick facings of buildings.
Oh, okay. So you would do, you
did all this.
The front of it. Okay. So you guys had a pretty good business, it sounds like. Yeah. Now, how long did that last? Like 30 years or something? Or?
Yeah, and my brother Jim, up until he was like 87, 88, he still had the business going.
Wow.
He did. All of us were together at the time.
Oh.
He had other people, but he never gave up the business.
Wow.
And he sold the business.
When he was 87, he sold it?
86, 87.
Dang. That's
serious. Jim, he stayed there. He stayed with us. Yeah. The rest of us.
Now, how old were you when you retired?
Well, I still do small things.
Do you really?
For people, but when we left Fed, I kept doing electrical and plumbing and heating. After we separated, I still kept it going.
Wow.
I kept it going, and so, like I say, to this day, I do things for certain people.
Well, that's pretty nice.
That I've worked for. I worked for their father.
Right. So it's just a tradition almost.
They still call me.
Now, and you've been married for what, 60 years?
67 years.
67 years.
67.
That's amazing for a blues man, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You did such a great song last night, too, man. Your song was great. Yeah. And how many children do you have? You have
4.
4. Okay.
2 girls.
So yeah, you have a much smaller family than Oscar.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. And your son Chris is a blues musician.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little different from me, but
different than you. Yeah. But he obviously learned the basics, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So you've had quite the career. I mean, for being somebody that had a day job, you were also able to do quite a bit of music.
Yes.
Now, what was the name of the band you had in Rochester for years?
Joe Beard and the Blues Union.
And the Blues Union.
Yes.
Wasn't there a group?
From the beginning,
wasn't there a group before that?
Friend of the Blues.
Friends of the Blues?
Yes, but even before that, when I first started,
right,
it was John Ellison and I.
Okay.
John Ellison wrote the song "Some Kind of Wonderful."
Oh, really? John Ellison wrote "Some Kind of Wonderful."
Yes, we started. Wow. We started to play together in the early '60s.
And what was that group called?
The Continental. It was just 3 of us.
Just 3 of you?
I was the bass player.
Oh, okay.
Johnny played guitar, and Craig Phillips played drums.
Okay.
Yes, we was doing all this James Brown.
Right. Yeah, I knew you had played a lot of R&B.
All the radio stuff.
A lot of radio stuff in the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I enjoyed one song I played.
Really? Wow. Okay.
I never liked doing it.
But it seemed like you guys had you had really popular bands the whole time.
Yes, we did. We sure did.
Yeah.
Yes, and then Johnny Ellison, he formed this band called Soul Brothers 6.
That's the group I was trying to think.
Soul Brothers 6.
And you were in that, right?
For a few, the first little one, not very long.
Not very long.
I got away from that.
Yeah, okay.
I got away from that stuff at all.
Right, because that wasn't your bag.
No, not bad at all.
Yeah. too much popular music kind of going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't your thing.
Yeah.
But you were playing guitar in the 50s, right?
Yes.
When did you start playing guitar? What year do you remember?
15, 16 years old.
Okay. Okay.
Before I really started.
So you had started in Memphis then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah. Who did you hear in Memphis? I'm just curious. Besides BB.
Oh, that was Roscoe Gordon.
Okay.
The Roscoe Gordon, he used to be at the Roosevelt Lake.
Used to be where?
At the Roosevelt Lake where BB came.
Oh, okay.
Willie Nix.
Willie Nix, yeah.
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 But I never knew Howlin' Wolf or
Yeah.
none of those guys.
Were they gone by that time, maybe?
Maybe, I don't know. I never even heard of them
Yeah.
in those days.
Because I know Wolf left probably in the early 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, yeah. So, who are your early people that you like to listen to on guitar?
Lightning
has stayed with you the whole time, hasn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then at the club there called,
Let me scoot you over just a little bit.
Oh.
Just try to keep in the frame.
okay, yeah, BK's Lounge.
Okay.
I had the band going on it. Everybody came into town, I opened the show for them.
Right.
No matter who it was, Johnny
Right.
Small, all those people. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've always got open the show for all of them.
Yeah. So people like Albert King or
Yes.
B.B. King,
Yeah.
Little Milton.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I became good friends with those guys, you know.
Yeah. Muddy. Did you open for Muddy?
A bunch of times.
Bunch of times.
But Muddy, he's a little different from.
You're saying he was more not as friendly, maybe?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. But guys like Little Milton and even Albert King.
Albert King, right.
And people say he was terrible, but he wasn't.
No, I
Not
know.
with me.
I met him and he was
Not
really
with
nice.
me, though.
Super nice to me.
Yeah, he stayed
Yeah.
around just for 2 weeks. Every day he was doing something.
That's
every
awesome.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting about Muddy being,
Yeah, he wasn't like.
this was kind of to himself.
Yes, he was. But I met him in Chicago in the 60s,
Uh-huh.
a couple of hours.
What was he like then? Friendlier?
Yes, he was. But he wasn't nobody's cruel at any point in time.
He what?
He wasn't like evil towards me, anything like that.
Right.
He just wasn't a guy like Little Milton would be.
Right.
Now Little Milton, he didn't care too much for people either.
But he liked you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He didn't deal with people too much.
Right.
Little Milton did.
Right.
And then guys like Luther Allison, he used to come to town. He'd come to the house.
Uh-huh.
Buddy guy, Junior Wells, all those guys.
Right. And you toured with Buddy and Junior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Now, did you tour all over the United States with them?
Oh, we did it. Boston, Philadelphia, all
Okay, so the East Coast.
and they would they would come to Rochester quite often, and they stayed over. They played Saturday night at Red Creek. They stayed over Sunday
Mm-hmm.
to jam with me on Sunday night.
Wow. That's nice.
Yeah, I recorded all that.
That's awesome.
I got
Wow,
it.
good for you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So was that in the 60s or 70s?
It was 1983.
83. Okay.
83.
All right. Yeah. So, who would you say you had the funnest tours with of all the people you toured with? Because I know you toured with Buddy and Junior. You toured with, was it Memphis Slim or?
I did. I was in Europe with Memphis Slim. From Memphis Slim. I had a recording session to do with this Memphis Slim.
Right.
But Memphis Slim, he expected Matt guitar money.
Right. That's what I've always heard. I've always heard that. I've heard that was like, he wanted you to play just like that. Yeah, Duke said the same thing.
Yeah,
Duke
he
said
wanted
exactly.
to dub me in. So
Right. So you were out
I was
because
out.
you didn't play like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a nice guy. He was a nice guy. He was.
Now, Lafayette League, you said you toured with, right?
Yes, Lafayette.
Was that with the American Folk Blues Festival?
No,
It was-
we went somewhere everywhere.
Okay.
Belgium, Portugal, Spain. Well,
So that was with Lafayette and you said
Spain.
Odie Payne, yeah. Who played bass? Do you remember?
Bob Sturgeon.
Oh, Stroger, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And John Littlejohn.
Too much.
And
that was not an American Folk Blues Festival?
Buster Benton.
Buster Benton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been called it not. It was the first time in Paris. And plus we did a recording there.
Yeah, because it sounds like American Folk Blues stuff.
It might have been.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could have been there.
Was it German guys who played together?
I don't know. I don't really know.
Okay.
But it came through concerted effort.
Concerted effort.
Yeah, but
Okay. So were you with them for a while?
I was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you've always been kind of the guy in Western New York. I mean, you've been the one real blues guy out of that area.
That's what they always said. How did a guy from Rochester, New York, play the blues?
You what?
How they asked me, how did a guy from Rochester, New York,
Right.
play the blues?
Right.
I'm
But you're from Mississippi. How would you not play the blues if you're from Mississippi? Yeah. Well, I think that one of the guys you're most associated with from Rochester, well, a few people, but I mean the most famous one is obviously Son House.
Oh yes, yeah.
And Son House, I think a lot of people didn't even know he was in Rochester, right?
Exactly.
People just didn't know.
No.
Yeah. And you were just playing guitar, you said, on your porch?
Yeah, he lived next door to me. You know?
Oh, he lived next door.
He lived next door.
Okay.
Yes, and when he found out that I had a guitar, you know, I talked to him. We never talked about music or anything like that. You know what I mean? So
you kind of knew each other just as neighbors.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, we did.
Right.
And then he found out that I played guitar. We was always together then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He'd take my guitar and you know he practically kept on my guitar at all times. You know. So,
He practiced on it?
and he practically kept it all.
Oh, kept it all.
with him,
Yeah, yeah.
And then he started telling me things about himself,
Uh-huh.
Robert Johnson, you know, and all that.
And you didn't know Robert Johnson?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Son House was.
Well, I don't think a lot of people did at that point.
You know, I didn't know who he was. Then he started telling me about he was a minister at one time and all these things. And he started going with me to play.
Started what?
He'd go with me to do my gig.
Oh, okay.
He'd
Right.
go, you know,
Right.
and his wife, she didn't really care for him going out with too many people because he had the problem with drinking.
Right. So she kind of trusted you.
Yes, he did. And but with me, he always stayed in control.
Really?
He really did. Yes, he
Interesting.
did. So
Wow.
he would, when I tell him, you know, my son, I think you should stop it right here, you know. And he would.
Yeah.
He would. He would, yeah. Yeah. And he used to get up when we'd take a break with the band. He'd get to do his thing by himself.
What do you really? Wow. How did the audience respond to
Oh,
that?
they loved it.
Did they?
I just wish I had recorded.
I know.
I didn't record any of that.
That is so heavy duty, man.
Yes, but
Yeah. And this was in the late 50s.
yeah,
Yeah.
60s.
Early 60s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I got things, him and I, it was on Real to Real, that we would do at the college there.
Mm-hmm.
I got stuff that I put on CD now.
Really?
That him and I did at the radio station.
That's amazing.
Dick Waterman.
Right. Now, Dick is the one that found him after you got to know him.
Yeah.
Now, tell me that story.
Yeah, I never really met Dick in those days. I'm sure I met him, but I had no dealing with him, or conversation with him, anything like that. You know.
Uh-huh.
But that's when I really knew who Sunhouse was.
Uh-huh.
You know, when they rediscovered him. But, and all the things I've been through. And then he would tell me more about himself.
Son would?
At that time,
Yeah.
then he had recently been telling me all these things about, you know, he knew Robert Jr. Lockwood and all those people.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, oh, right, because he would have known him from Robert Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Whoa.
right. And he was still going with me to do my gigs. And, you know, we had great times together. And then they caught a snowstorm.
He did?
Sunhouse.
And what happened then?
Oh, the snow plowed up, frost in his hand. That's what really stopped him from playing.
Oh my God.
You didn't know that?
No, I've never heard that.
Oh, yeah. You know,
You lived what?
Greg Street was like a continuation of Plymouth Avenue. There was a circle.
Mm-hmm.
You go around, you go Plymouth Avenue, keep going, you go Greg Street.
Mm-hmm.
You live on Greg Street.
Okay.
And there's always been home someplace.
Great? Is that
Greg.
what it's called? Greg?
Greig.
Okay. Greg
Greg
Street. Okay.
And he passed out in the wintertime. The snow plowed him up.
Oh my God.
The next morning, you know what I mean?
Had he been drinking?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So he was basically just stuck in his car and went to sleep. And
No, he was walking.
oh, he was
He
walking.
was walking.
Oh man.
Oh, you didn't know this?
No, I've never heard this.
That really was stopped him from playing. You know, it's his hand.
That's horrible.
The first thing, you know, he's in hospital for quite a while.
Wow. So I mean, he learned to play again, obviously.
Somewhat, but not.
Somewhat, really?
Not like
What? Do you remember what year this was?
Jesus, I don't. I'm not sure.
Now, is Sunhouse the one that died, like where he had not played for a long time?
I don't know, but he died in Detroit.
He died in Detroit.
Yeah.
No, because there was somebody I remember that died, and it seemed like people didn't know he was still alive. And I can't remember if it was Sunhouse or not.
I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. Wow. I didn't know he died in Detroit.
Yes, he did. They moved away from Rochester.
Okay.
He had relatives there in Detroit. I'm not sure what year they
Yeah.
were. But he died in Detroit.
So, did you ever know him when he was a preacher?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't know him.
Did you guys ever talk about that?
Yes, quite often.
Did you?
Yeah.
About him being a preacher
Yes.
and getting religion, and
Right. He used to.
would he kind of go back and forth about it?
He said the reason that he became, he said he always was into the Bible, which you could tell that by just talking to him. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that all his friends had to die. You know.
All of his friends what?
He started dying. All his friends started to die.
Oh,
you know.
started dying on him. Yeah.
Charlotte had.
Right. Right.
And he said he figured, well, I'm going to give up this blues. I was that free.
So he thought that the reason they were dying was because of
yeah,
being blues players. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he preached.
So did he ever talk about Robert Johnson much?
He did. But now his thing with Robert Johnson was, you hear about many ways that Robert Johnson died.
About him being poisoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Son said that is the way he died.
Mm-hmm.
He was poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
A lady's husband poisoned.
I've heard that. Yeah.
But Son now said that's what really happened.
He said that really happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what did he say about the thing about? Because there's always that story. I mean, it's always associated with Son. Is that him and Willie Brown would play, and they wouldn't let Robert Johnson come up and play because he was terrible?
He said that Now this thing about the crossroad, somehow said it actually happened.
He believes that happened.
Yes,
Wow.
he said that really happened. Now he says like overnight, Robert Johnson
Went from being a no playing guy to this genius.
yeah,
Really?
somehow said that.
When he says overnight, what does he mean? Like a week or something? Or
I'm not sure.
but it
But
was
he said like
such a short period of
yeah.
time. Yeah.
And he said that Robert Johnson was not a good guitar player at all. He always had a great voice. He said.
Right. That's what I heard is that he was terrible and they wouldn't let him up.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, but Sondheim said that actually happened.
And he says when he came back, all of a sudden he could play
He
anything.
he was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a trip.
Yeah.
Wow. That's something.
Yes, it is.
Very strange.
Yeah.
What did he say about Charlie Patton? Did you talk about him at all?
Not a whole lot, you know.
Uh-huh.
But he said Charlie Patton. But Willie Brown,
Uh-huh.
Charlie Patton, and Sondheim. But he said that he was the main thing of these three guys.
You're saying Son was the man.
Yeah.
That's what I'd heard.
Yes, he
Yeah.
was the real thing.
Yeah.
He was it, you know. The
Yeah.
other things they did on their own, but when you come to being in front of it, it was Sondheim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can really tell when you listen to Robert Johnson or you listen to Muddy Waters, you can tell that he was the real influence on all of those guys.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Just the way he played. Did he play in open tunings?
Spanish. Yeah.
It was all in Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The John Luther King.
Right.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's
he
how
did.
he played. Okay.
Yes, he did.
Did he play regular as well or not really?
No,
Interesting.
I never knew them to do anything other than that.
Yeah. And was it always the slide or did
Always.
he play?
Oh, I
It
never
was
saw
always-
him without it.
Never saw him without a slide.
No.
Okay. Interesting. Wow.
That's
Now, did he kind of teach you that, how to play?
I never tried to slide.
You never what?
I never even had one on my finger.
No, I'm saying the Spanish tuning.
No. I was doing that before him.
So you already knew that.
Oh, yeah.
And how did you learn that? Was that from John Lee Hooker records?
Ernest Scruggs.
Ernest Scruggs. See, I don't know who that is.
This is the guy that B.B. King here play. He said, if I could play like that guy, I
Really?
would be a star.
Wow. So it wasn't Bucka White.
I don't know what happened to Buzz White before this, but he heard Ernest Scruggs play.
Interesting.
Ernest Scruggs was something.
Was he?
This guy could hear someone on the jukebox. To me, say he could play it. The guy.
So
like
he just
you
had an
wouldn't
incredible
believe.
ear. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Really? So he could listen to it once and play.
Ernest Scruggs
Yeah.
was terrible.
See, that's what they said about Robert Johnson too. Is that he
Yeah,
could
well,
do that.
Ernest Scruggs. He was related to Nathan Beauregard. The Scruggs
Interesting.
was.
Really?
Scruggs, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Nathan Beauregard, I've never really known anything about, but I've heard his name forever.
Right, you know, I used to meet him around to the fish fry and house party we used to have, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 6, 7 years old. I was a boy. And he would spend time at our house, Nathan Beauregard. But in those days, everybody was, you know, if you were a good person, you part of the family.
Right, right,
You know, yeah.
right. You were accepted.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no such thing like now, you mean, I don't trust you and do
Right.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Different world.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you never were in the service, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. And how did you meet your wife? Did you meet her in Memphis?
Yes.
Okay.
In Memphis, yes. I met her at the fairground
Huh.
in Memphis.
Uh-huh.
But you know, back then, you know, in the 50s, everything was, which I was never bothered by this person, and I never had a problem with anything.
With discrimination?
Right.
Yeah.
I never really had a problem with that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But in Memphis, Tennessee, in the 50s, early 50s, you'd have, no, it might have been, yeah, in the 50s. They had a fairground there. There was always something happening. You know, like some get together, you might have bands, all of that. But for one night a week, it was for the black people.
Really?
One night, Tuesday
Huh.
night. Tuesday.
Really?
That's why I met my wife.
Wow.
One of those Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I
That's
never,
interesting.
I
I never
never-
heard that.
yeah, I never associated with a lot of people.
Yeah.
When I was a little boy,
Right.
even then, you know.
Right. So you're saying you didn't have a lot of friends and stuff?
No, I didn't, because everybody, kids, got differently from me. I didn't think like they did.
Really? Yeah.
You know,
You think it was because you're quiet, or?
I don't know about it, but I had white friends out in Mississippi. I was just a little boy.
Yeah.
There was a family, Audrey family, it was a white family.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother died in 1844. Well, this lady, she had kids like age of my sister and brother.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd come get me, bring me to her house, stay overnight even, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
Even those days, you know what I mean? And I have heard people say things about me which I pay no attention to, you know what I mean? But I never had this problem of having a white people that,
Right. I remember
Yeah.
asking you about that. You told me that a long time ago.
you know,
I think what do you think that is? Do you think it's just, I mean, you're so soft spoken, and you have a certain calm that I think maybe affects people a certain way.
you know, but like I said, I never had this problem. People tell me they did this, they did that. I
Yeah.
never even, when I've gone back to Mississippi, you know, I never had this problem.
Never had a problem. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a rarity.
Yeah.
You really are. You're really a rarity.
Because Alice used to tell me about, you know, he used to, yeah, he was in Rochester often, little Allison work.
Yeah.
He used to tell about some things he went through in Arkansas, you know what I mean? That he had a problem with that in Arkansas, you know, but he said he made it through it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was he a teenager when he went to Chicago? Luther?
I don't know. But I know he had a bunch of brothers. And he had a whole herd of sisters and brothers.
Really?
I think he's like 17 of them.
Wow. That's
And
a
he,
big family. Yeah.
He was a ball player.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was almost on one of those Chicago teams.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Luther Allison. That's
Yeah,
wild.
yes, he was.
Wow, I wonder if Billy knows that, because Billy knew Luther really well.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yes, he was almost a ball player.
That's amazing. He must have been really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have been, yeah.
Yeah.
He looked a nice guy, but he really was.
I've heard he was just a wonderful
And he
guy.
was.
Yeah, I've always heard that.
Yeah.
And you said you played at the White House.
Yes.
You played for the older Bush
Yes.
inauguration. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
The inauguration?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Him when Quayle and him became president and vice president.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would have been I forget what year that was. Do you remember? Yeah. So, and you said they treated you like gold.
You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it. What came about? Well, I was playing New York. I was playing the blues festival there.
Right. Was this the New York Blues Festival? In
Yeah,
Syracuse?
Budweiser. No.
Oh, it's not
It
Syracuse.
was Budweiser, one of them, in New York City.
Oh, New York City.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this guy came to the state and said, how would you like to do Bush Another Ball? I said, I would love it. He said, give me your number. You know, people say all the time.
Sure they do.
You think nothing of it.
Right.
You know what
You
I'm saying?
just don't take it serious. Yeah.
And so a week or so later, Atwater called me.
Lee Atwater, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is apparently a blues nut.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he said, we want you to do it. Teo
Teo at House of Blues. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the keyboard player. So he put the band together. I've been doing things with Teo before though.
You had?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I was in
From
New
House
York
of
in
Blues.
the first place. Yeah,
Right. Now, was he with House of Blues at that point?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we went to. I got on a train in Rochester, Central Station in New York. Once you get there, they takes over.
Really?
Yeah, they take over. They're not fully, but this is when they give you everything you think you want.
Yeah. So you were pampered.
Oh yeah. 5 people to give each one of you a coach.
A coach.
Oh,
You had your own private
yes, you got
train railroad coach.
You got somebody to give you this, somebody
Wow.
to give you that, everything.
That's incredible.
And when you get to Washington,
Didn't lift a finger.
then you have no control over your whole set.
Right. Right.
They take over everything.
They take over everything.
Secrets.
Secret Service.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody open your door, somebody close your door.
Right.
You can't do
You're
nothing.
seeing $300 meals.
Yeah, and you don't do nothing until this guy does it first.
Can you imagine how much that must have cost to have
I'm telling you.
all the musicians that played at that? That must have cost
Right.
thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the hotel they put you in, Mark. You got a lady open the door. Got a lady, there's one standing when you walk in. There's anything you want.
Right.
And it's not going to leave you
Right.
until you tell them that you're ready to retire.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was an experience, I'm telling you.
Now they had other blues performers, and didn't Joe Louis Walker play on that?
Yes, he was on that.
And
B.B. King was
B.B. King was there.
B.B. King
Wow.
was there, yeah.
Too much.
What's his horn player's name?
Maceo? Not Maceo.
No, Washington, the horn player named
Oh,
Washington.
Grover Washington Jr.
That was him, yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
he was a part of it.
He was on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What an experience.
Oh, yeah, that was really something.
Yeah. Now you've started out a lot of people that have become very well known later on. Didn't Ronnie Earl start with you? Because the first time I ever saw you was Ronnie had brought you to the Moulin Blues Festival.
Yeah.
In Belgium.
Oh,
or in,
yeah,
or
yeah.
in Holland, I think it was.
I met Ronnie when he was with Room for the Blues.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you had known him prior to that.
No,
Okay.
Room for the Blues, I met him.
So Room.
In the 70s, I started going to Boston a lot.
Okay.
And he was every gig I did, he was there.
Right. Right.
Every gig I did, Ronnie
Right.
Earl was right there.
Now, would he be playing with you
He
whenever?
would, every chance he got. every chance he got, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he definitely heard something in what you did that he liked.
Because
Yeah.
every time I was there, he was there.
Yeah.
Somewhere. If he
Interesting.
wasn't playing, he was there. Yeah. Mhm.
And then I know you said John Mooney was somebody that you kind of started in. Well, you introduced him to Sun House,
Yes.
and then didn't you start him kind of playing gigs and stuff?
Yeah, this, John used to come to my house. Sometimes he'd come say 2 or 3 days.
Really?
John.
Now, where was he living?
Rochester. He was born and raised right there.
But he would just stay at your place.
Yeah, he'd be doing
Yeah.
something. He'd be around, you know what I mean? And when he met Son House, it did it.
Yeah.
that did it. When
Right.
my son
So
had-
he learned from him. He learned from both of you guys. It
So,
sounds like.
so cause John's a good guitar player other than that slide.
Oh yeah, no, he could play all
guitar.
kinds of stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. Cause he played, he was part of this band at one time, Friend of the Blues.
Oh, he was in
Yeah.
that band.
He was
Okay.
part of it. He was
Okay.
a guitar player with me for a while.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And this guy, Rockin' Red, Fred Palmer is his name. Huh? You heard of him?
I'm not sure if I know him.
He was a great harmonica player.
A harmonica.
Rockin' Red.
Okay. Huh.
He did that book with Sonny Terry years and years ago.
He did a book with him?
He's in a book with
Oh,
Sonny
he's
Terry.
in a book with him. Huh.
Yeah, speaking of Sonny Terry, something about Sonny Terry.
Really?
Yes,
Huh.
he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sonny was a hell of a harmonica player.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know Brownie at all?
Yes, I do. I like
Yeah.
Brownie.
Yeah. I got to know Brownie
I
real
like
well. I
Brownie.
played with him a long time.
I like him.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
But you know, he was. I never got the real story behind what happened between him and Sonny.
Well, I know what Brownie's version was. Brownie's version was that, see, I mean, one thing is, those guys had been playing together for so long. Since the 40s, I think, or the late 40s or early 50s. They'd been a duo, and they had traveled together that whole time. And so I kind of equate it. There's a movie called The Sunshine Boys. You ever heard of that movie? It's a Neil Simon
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's these two vaudeville guys, and they get to the point, they work together, they become really famous, and they get to the point where every little thing that the other guy does drives them nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what happened with Brownie and Sonny. Like
Mhm.
every little thing, you know.
Right.
Stop with the spitting. You know, you know, that sort of thing. And I think that, you know, they just kind of got on each other's nerves. But I know Brownie's reasoning was, he said that when they did the album for A&M, if you remember, they did an album on A&M, and it had all these big stars on it. John Mayall was on it. Randy Newman was on it. I think Dr. John was on it. There was a couple other really big names, and they put a big budget behind them. They had a full band on it. And when Brownie said, the only way we're going to promote this album is if we get an actual band to play. And Sonny said, no way. He said, I'll hire a drummer and that's it. And Brownie said at that point, he just said, this is full.
Mhm.
Because he felt like they couldn't really properly promote the album without a full band. And Sonny wouldn't put up the money.
Oh.
So yeah. So that was from Brownie. That's what he told
yeah.
me.
Mhm.
But you know, when I saw him, I think in 1972, they were still getting along okay. But by 1978 or 79, it was just gone. They would each play on the wrong key on the other guy.
Oh, man.
Really sad.
And I love the two of them together.
I love them together. Yeah,
Yes.
I really did. Yeah. Let me pull you back this way a little bit.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and John Mooney, like I said, I spent a lot of time with John. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when he hooked up with Son House, that's where he went.
Yeah.
That's where he went.
He wanted to play that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's great at it.
And he's great at it. He's incredible.
He is.
Out of all the guys I've seen, the younger guys,
Yeah.
he to me was one of the best guys I ever saw do that stuff.
Yeah.
He blew my mind when I saw
Yeah.
him do that, you know. But he rarely does it.
And, you know, I talked to him. His mother died last year. I talked to him last year.
Oh, okay. How was he doing?
He's doing okay.
Doing okay?
He's not playing a lot now.
Is he in Florida or something?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, he was great.
He's so, you know, his brother's a police officer. You know, so,
I didn't know that.
yes, he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's two different guys. Yeah. Well, can you think of anything, like memories that you have that's just really, like some of the best gigs you've ever done
Well, but like I said, I spend a lot of time with, especially Matt Murphy, because Matt used to come and stay sometimes 2 weeks, not just with
Okay.
But I guess the person that I enjoyed the most was Albert King, I think.
Albert King? Yeah. Was he just a character or what?
He was. To me, he's a great guy.
He'd make you laugh.
Yeah, but we went to a club when I used in Russia. We went to a club.
Right.
And the band was playing Crosscut Song. So I noticed he raised up in his chair, and started doing the song. I mean, an expression on his face. He was dead serious. He said, I'm gonna take the chair, go up and stop these motherfuckers from fucking up my song.
Who was playing?
The band, there was a band. I even know the
You
band.
know who the band was?
I know the band
And
was.
he said, I'm gonna take the chair and stop him from
And
playing.
then he was dead serious. He was fucking up my song.
Unbelievable.
He sure was.
Whoa.
Yeah, I told him that.
He'd be an intimidating guy to make you want to stop playing that song.
I told him, I said, after I said, it really don't make no sense, you know what I mean?
You calmed him down, huh?
And he sat there, and then one of the guys in the band came to the table where I was, where we were sitting there.
Right.
And he left the table. He said, Joe, I want to see you a minute. So I got up and walked away. He said, who's that? I said, Albert King. Oh my goodness gracious. And the rest of the night, oh my, everything Albert thought he wanted, he got it. And he said, when he left and he walked out, he said, I'm so motherfucking full, I can't move. He said, make them motherfuckers pay for fucking up.
So they were buying him drinks and food.
Everything.
Well, they wanted to make it up to him, I guess. Yeah. Wow. One story I want you to make sure you tell is the one about playing in Chicago, I think you said it was.
Yes, it was.
And you were playing Sally Mae.
Yes.
And this guy comes up to you, and what happened?
Right, but back then, they used to have some of the clubs had the stage
real high.
You had to walk up the stairs
Right.
to get to the stage. So,
Right.
and I was there, me, John Ellison, Lincoln Day.
Mm-hmm.
We was there. We had a couple of gigs, the three of us, because we was going to do the same thing there. We was doing it Rochester.
Right.
We was doing the James Brown stuff, So we was at this place. I don't know what it was, what club it was, anything like that. But Johnny was doing his thing, But nobody was paying any attention to his thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we decided that I didn't sing or anything. I didn't. All I did was play the bass.
Right.
So this band came in to do their thing. And so one of the guys in the band says, would anybody like to do a song? I said, yeah. So I get the guitar, take Johnny, change the guitar, go up and I start doing the Johnny Hook and sing song there. And down at the bottom of the stairs, this guy standing there looking up at me.
Uh-huh.
So I finished. He had his arm in a cast.
Huh.
So he says, where did you get this song from? I said, Johnny Hook. He said, I'm Johnny Hook.
Oh, I thought you said he said you should record that
He
before
did.
he said that.
He said, I'm Johnny Hook. And he said, if you ever record, if you ever do a recording, he said, make sure you put that song on the first session you do. And I did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, was that the Audio Quest record that you did that on?
Yes.
Is that it? The one
Yeah.
with Ronnie?
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
I have that album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you did, how many records did you do for Audio Quest?
True.
3?
I had 5 years, but
Right. So you did the one with Ronnie Earl, and then you did, which is my favorite, and then you did one with Duke and Jerry Portnoy.
Yeah.
Was Per Hansen on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I forget who else. Was it Anthony?
No. It was a keyboard player. Bruce Katz.
Bruce Katz. Okay.
Bruce Katz.
Yeah. Now you just did something back east, right? Didn't you just do
Yeah.
something in at the Knickerbocker? Is that what it was?
Yes,
The Knickerbocker.
It was a live session, and I'm not sure what's going on with it at this time.
Right, but that's with like was Sugar Ray on it?
Yes.
Anthony Gerasi,
Yeah.
Mike Law.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was the drummer Nick Toscano
No.
or what?
Fran's brother.
Oh, okay, Franny's brother. Yeah. I can't think of his first name.
Bob.
Is that it?
Bob.
Bobby Christina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear that.
It did.
Yeah.
Good. It came out nice.
And then I love what we did the other day,
Oh, yeah.
doing RW's too. You did a
Yeah.
beautiful job on that. Yeah. So all I can say, Joe, is I really hope people get hip to Joe Beard on the Blues Festival circuit
Thank you.
and get you out there. I'd love to get you on the Blues Cruise with us sometime. Hopefully someday that will happen because you're a guy that I think people would love to get to meet and talk to and listen to. And I still love the way you do the John Lee Hooker stuff and Jimmy Reed and Light and Hopkins. To me, you do that stuff better than anybody.
Thank you, Mark.
And you said you used to talk to Lightning on the
Oh,
phone.
yes, I did.
Right.
That's when I was in Texas. When we went down to Texas for a while. His cousin lived next door to where we were living. That's how I got his phone number.
Now that was in Dallas?
Yeah, down in Texas.
Really?
And he was in Houston.
Houston. Yeah.
Lightning was in Houston.
Right. So you'd call him from Dallas? All the
Yes, his cousin called, and I spoke to him on the phone at the liquor store.
Oh.
He was always at the liquor
How
store.
funny.
Lightning was always at the liquor store. Every
That's
time
a
I called, he was at the liquor store.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his cousin said that's where he would be, and sure enough, he was.
That's wild. Yeah. And you guys talked all the time, huh?
Well, I talked 2 or 3 different times.
2 or 3 different times. Yeah.
He couldn't understand how a guy my age would listen to Lightning Hopkins.
Right.
He
Well,
couldn't
right. You're right. Because you would have been young compared to him.
He
Yeah.
couldn't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Joe, it's been a pleasure,
Yes, Mark.
and I'm loving having you out in California.
Mark is wonderful.
You're really somebody that the audiences are just blown away by,
Thank you, Mark.
and you always have been. Everything we've ever done, I felt like people really, really got what you were doing.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this so much.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, thanks, Joe.